In today's program, turns out the mask that you've been wearing is likely substandard. The Thai Prime Minister gets the final say on what to do about Omicron, and lingerie workers demand money from the government. Details on these stories coming right up. You're watching Thailand News Today, bringing you the latest headlines in Thailand and beyond. So be sure to subscribe to the channel to stay on top of the news. Well, here's a scandal for us all. Thailand's Consumer Council now says that out of 60 face masks available in Thailand, only 1/5 have passed quality tests. Moreover, disposable masks are not even required to adhere to these standards. In July, the TCC randomly chose 60 face mask brands for testing. They included 14 types of disposable masks, 27 brands of surgical masks, and 19 makes of N95 masks. All of them were tested on air permeability, pressure difference, and filter efficiency of 0.1 micron and 0.3 micron. According to Dr. Paiboon Chuangtong from the TCC, only 3 out of the 14 disposable masks achieve the required standards. The 3 brands are LOC, Medicare Plus, and Iris Oyama. However, Paiboon says Iris Oyama overstated its filter quality, with testing showing it was 97.4% efficient as opposed to the claimed 99%. Out of 27 surgical mask brands tested, only 3 met the required standards. Those brands were Nam An, AA Care, and TCH. Meanwhile, out of the 19 brands of N95 masks, only 7 passed the tests. They are Mini Care, Snake Brand, One Care, 3M, Well Care Black Edition, Ease Mask Zero, and Pharmatex. The TCC Secretary General has expressed concern that disposable mask makers are not obligated to meet the same standards required of medical and N95 masks. She is calling for the FDA and the Thai Industrial Standards Institute, who are the agencies in charge of mask standards, to apply the same standards to disposable face masks. The Health Ministry says the Thai Prime Minister will decide what steps to take if and when the Omicron variant is found in the kingdom. Speaking to reporters, Saathit Pitutecha from the Health Ministry says people should not panic while measures will be reviewed based on new information coming in. If the Omicron strain is found in Thailand, it is up to the Prime Minister to make a decision as director of the CCSA. Saathit adds that the proposed reopening of nightlife on January the 16th is subject to Omicron not being detected in Thailand. Meanwhile, Omicron has prompted the CCSA to backpedal on a plan to replace PCR testing on arrival with antigen test kits. At yesterday's cabinet meeting, it was decided that PCR tests will remain in place for international arrivals. The Thai government has also suspended the issuance of the Thailand Pass QR code to those from 8 African countries at high risk of the variant, while those entering from other countries in Africa will be required to undergo a 14-day quarantine. Garment workers from a Victoria's Secret supplier filed a complaint yesterday with the Human Rights Commission for being laid off suddenly without severance pay. The movement was led by the Triumph International Workers Union as demonstrators demanded compensation of 242 million baht from the government and the Labor Ministry for the 1,388 employees who lost their jobs at a Hong Kong-based lingerie manufacturing firm in Samut Prakan. They were laid off with little or no severance pay when the factory shut down in early March. Then in late March, Thai authorities ordered the lingerie manufacturer to compensate the workers who did not receive severance pay or wages owed to them. Brilliant Alliance Thai Global had said financial losses from the pandemic led to the sudden closure of the factory. According to Reuters, workers and unions said they were not given a warning. In a past report from Reuters, the company was told in late March that they had to pay more than 242 million baht to the workers within 30 days, or the company would face criminal charges. Thai law requires companies to give notice 1 month in advance of closing and pay all outstanding salaries, bonuses, and severance pay. It is now a subsidiary of Clover Group International and owned by Triumph International, and is notorious for paying pitiful wages, and most employees have little or no savings. The police charges, according to the Textile Industrial Labor Union, were a violation of workers' rights, especially when they were facing a loss of income and had nothing to fall back on. The union stated that they had written to the government several times, but no progress had been made. While tourist areas all across Thailand are fighting to be allowed to sell alcohol, Cha'am will be the next tourist pilot area to sell drinks until 10 p.m. The trial run of the new permission will be from December the 1st to the 15th and then re-evaluated to decide whether it will be continued. The municipality has not had a single case of COVID since the big tourist reopening on November the 1st. Because of this, the Provincial Public Health Committee decided it was safe to allow the Blue Zone Tourist Municipality of Cha'am to allow alcohol to be sold and consumed in SHA Plus certified restaurants. Provincial authorities will be keeping a close eye on any new infections or outbreaks in Cha'am that happen between December the 1st and the 15th and make a decision accordingly. 2 Pakistani men were arrested at Suvarnabhumi Airport on Monday for allegedly trafficking over 30 kilograms of ketamine and over 1 kilo of heroin hidden in instant tea packages. Officers say the drugs had a street value of 95 million baht. The 2 residents of Karachi traveled to Thailand via an Emirates flight through the United Arab Emirates. Their narcotics were found stashed in their luggage as instant tea sachets, which were claimed not to be found in Karachi or Dubai airports until they arrived in Thailand. Thai authorities said the 2 airports may have missed the haul because they were more concerned with firearms and other risky materials. Though drug smuggling via air travel has decreased during the COVID-19 outbreak, it has begun to ramp up again now that Thailand is gradually reopening. The Customs Department has been randomly inspecting passengers' luggage as they arrive and depart. According to a report, since October of last year, 202 people have been arrested for attempting to transport drugs valued at a total of 8.5 billion baht. And that wraps up our report for today. Thailand News Today will be back tomorrow. Meanwhile, stay tuned for Thailand Top Stories with Tim Newton for tomorrow's top headlines.